And what's the ideal gift for the captain of a team that missed the playoffs last year for the first time since Sid was a rookie? How much does having Karlsson help this team get back into the flow and hopefully back into the dance?
Well, you would think a lot. I mean, obviously, there are some defensive deficiencies. We get that. But anybody as dynamic as Erik Karlsson is, and the incredible season he had last year, I did want to preface, because we know, yeah, at times he'll make a defensive mistake, but the puck is on a stick so often that's going to happen more often for a defenseman like Erik Karlsson. But what he brings from an offensive standpoint, you heard Kyle Dubas talk about we need to transport the puck out of our zone a little quicker. He's certainly going to do that, and he's going to join the attack, and he's going to be in the right area to either make a big play, score a big goal consistently. He has to be oozing with confidence after the season he had last year. Now he's going to a better hockey club, a club that has Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. I know Jake Gensel, that's a big blow. He'll be out for some time. But having said that, they finished 16th in the National Hockey League last year in goals for. You would expect with Erik Karlsson on the back end, that could very well climb up the ladder, and they maybe have a little more punch now offensively. They were banged up last year as well. We say that about a lot of teams. Their goaltending wasn't great or consistent enough. If that comes back to form, Erik Karlsson plays the way he did last season, or even remotely close to what he did last season, then maybe the Pittsburgh Penguins, again, will be the team we're going to be talking about, not on the outside looking in, but they're a team we always believe if they get in the playoffs, right, with their pedigree and the experience that they've had in the Stanley Cup championships Crosby has led them to, then, yeah, they can make some noise. And that's always intriguing to me. It's a balancing act and obviously this is the first year for Kyle Dubas on the job as president and general manager with the Pittsburgh Penguins. But when do you tear it down? When's there a rebuild? But you have to give guys like Malkin and Crosby and the gang and Letang an opportunity, right? Because they're just too good.
Yeah.
And when they have to tear it down, when they go through that rebuild, it's going to be a long process. It might be ugly for a short period of time for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But right now, I'm of the belief that they went out and got Karlsson because they believe they still got an opportunity, and why not? I never second guess or doubt a team led by Sidney Crosby.
Kyle Dubas said this is an affirmation. They're going after it, and it's really impressive to me listening to Kyle Dubas, first of all. The guy is so bright and so sharp. Looking at what Karlsson produced last year jumps off this screen. It seems to me, my name is not on the cup 3 times like yours, but it seems to me if you have Hall of Famers passing the puck around the ice, that gives you a really good chance to be good. And this guy we know is going to be a Hall of Famer with 3 Norris trophies to his credit. That bottom line, 82 and 101, you see the contract there. And for the Sharks, the fact that they didn't end up retaining a ton. His cap hit is the highest among NHL defensemen. And you see right there, the Sharks retained 13% of his salary. Karlsson at this stage, because a few years ago we were hearing he had half an ankle bone. I'd like to have half an ankle bone and be this good at my job the way he's that good at his job. What do you see from him, his game adjusting? You mentioned him playing with the Sharks. How does his game become more malleable with Pittsburgh?
Well, I think you have to find that balance, right? Obviously, with San Jose, I talked about him being the first, second, and third option.
No doubt.
For the most part on the power play, 5-on-5. He was that dominant and kind of carried the load in San Jose, even though we talked about them not having a very good year. But it certainly wasn't because of Erik Karlsson. He gave them a chance every night pretty well to win with the production that he had offensively. So now it's, you got Malkin, you got Crosby, you've got Rust, you've got Chris Letang. So it's kind of fitting in as far as chemistry and when to hang on to the puck, when to shoot, when to distribute it to the other star players on their team.
And
I think that might take a little time to get acclimated a little bit because Erik Karlsson kind of had to do everything in San Jose, and he did that.
Yes,
and he's capable of that.
Yes,
obviously, he showed it last season on his way to winning the Norris Trophy. But now, again, all that pressure is not just on his shoulders. Just go play, have fun, relax. Maybe he can be a little more risk-free as far as playing more responsibly defensively than he did in San Jose at times, I'm saying, and that's not a knock against Erik Karlsson because it was a remarkable year, but he had to do everything in San Jose. He doesn't have to do that with the Pittsburgh Penguins because he's got a lot of help around him, whether it's up front, whether it's on the back end with the Letang and the likes. And they add Ryan Graves for that defensive stability as well. So they've made their defense better, certainly the Pittsburgh Penguins. We will see if it all works out. You got to play the games. We'll see come October. But yeah, first thing that comes to my mind is just getting acclimated that I don't have to do it all. I've got a lot of star players, star power around me, in particular on the power play, right? Where there's a lot of options now, a ton of options for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Only 4 players in the history of the NHL have won more Norris trophies than Erik Karlsson. We're watching one of the greats